What is up, guys? Ice Cold Coffee here, back with another video on Age of World Wars. Today we'll be going through one of the hardest levels in the game, in my opinion. That is the invasion of the British Raj. It should be located inside of Axis Victory 2, right here. I'll be playing it in rock hard difficulty within 15 turns. Officially, the objectives of the map is to capture 3 towns. That's Imphal, Calcutta, and New Delhi. But ideally, we would want to capture Lucknow and Dhaka too. Before we get into the gameplay, I'd just like to say if you're a beginner in this game, I'd advise that you follow closely to my steps because this level depends greatly on the sequencing of your movements, and one wrong move can basically ruin your whole game. If you're an intermediate in this game, that means you got more than 1 year of experience, then you could probably just follow the general direction and you should be fine. Right, with that out of the way, let's get into it. First of all, you want to move this Cheeto up north, kill this guy over here, move this MG into the bunker, kill these 2 guys, use the bunker to kill this infantryman, and you want to move the officer up by 1 space. Then send your MG towards the left here, kill both of them, use this MG, move it towards the left, kill both of these guys. And now you want to move your SMG inside the building and capture it. Drop a grenade on their MG42 and shoot its remaining health. Then you want to move your AT gun up under the belly of this tank, kill that. Move the launch any tank under the belly of this tank, kill that again. And you want to move this guy into the town and this guy into the town. What you want to do now is move this rifleman right above the launch any tank and move this rifleman to the right of the launch any tank. What we want to do here is to create some Japanese barracks. But unfortunately, our quota is up, so we'll have to free some up. We'll do that by deleting these factories in the south. The reason we're doing this because after they produce the necessary units, oftentimes they won't make it in time towards the front line. Then we're going to delete this tank factory too because Japanese tanks are pretty useless. Then we're going to create a Japanese barracks over here. Going to do it with 4 turns. And now we're going to create some Japanese engineers inside. Back in the town of Imphal, we also want to create some Japanese engineers. So now we got 2 production lines going on for us. Then we want to send this rifleman up north, drop a grenade on him, send our M6 bomber, bomb this guy, now he's dead. Then we'll send our tanks into a single file, send our howitzer towards the left, and there should be a mine over here. We're going to disarm it with our riflemen. This is pretty dispensable, so we're going to use it anyways. Then we're going to move our MG, going to move our howitzer, and all the remaining forces towards the northwest. Great. Now we're going to direct these 3 riflemen towards the town of Dhaka. We're doing this because we want to make use of all the forces that are available to us. Gonna move this tank up. And now we're going to send this bomber towards the left drop a torpedo on their destroyer, send our submarine upwards, kill that destroyer, and now this space is clear. Now we want to send our G3M bomber along the coastline, and we want to send our jet fighter right to this position. The reason behind this move is because in the next turn we want to occupy their artillery, and we want to make sure that this space is as empty as possible of enemy forces, so we can head inside and occupy it with a bit more ease. Then we want to send our transport ships towards the west. We're doing this because their navy is much more powerful than ours, so we have to use some sneaky tactics to diverge their attention. So we're doing this just to create a little bit of a diversion. Now we're gonna send our aircrafts up north. Just fly them right next to the shoreline. Then we want to move our aircraft carrier directly upwards and send all our destroyers into a single file surrounding the aircraft carrier. Right, now we want to surface our subs because we want to move them quickly out of the enemy's line of sight. And now we should have these 3 columns packed neatly, and that will be our batch of gunboats in a concentrated area, so we can focus fire on a single enemy if we want to. We're gonna try to keep our cruiser and our submarines alive as long as possible because they're armed with torpedoes, which are very effective against battleships. Except for the destroyers, they're basically useless against battleships. Now we can focus on the production side of things. We're going to produce some officers over here. We're going to create some paratroopers. The reason why we're producing paratroopers is that we want to fly our paratroopers directly towards New Delhi in case that our main forces get slowed down around Lucknow, because sometimes they'll generate a lot of tanks and they'll just slow the whole movement, the whole column of our infantry. So in case of that, we still have a plan B of sending the paratroopers up north and all the way directly towards the west, towards New Delhi. If you don't have the paratroopers unlocked, that's fine. You can use the bombers instead. But in this case, you will have to play very carefully with your main forces because you only got one shot at this. So just for the sake of demonstrating another method of attacking the town of New Delhi, I'm going to stick with paratroopers. Then we want to create some supplies over in Mandalay, send them towards the airfield. Again, with Bangkok, we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to send our remaining forces from the south towards the north. Notice that I am moving all the units other than the commander up north first, because now that they're still within range of the officer's influence area, they're going to move faster. So the officer is going to act like a babysitter, always at the back of the bunch, making sure that everyone is able to catch up. Right. And with that out of the way, I think... Oh, gotta create some bombers in this aircraft carrier. And that should be all for now. Great, now we can proceed. Gonna skip. Right, first thing we want to do is fly our M6A1 back to the airfield for repairs. And now we gotta take a look at how they are sending their forces, their navy, against us. So first of all, we'll notice that they got one battleship very close to the landmass. We want to eliminate this as soon as possible, because they will be able to fire at our main force. Second of all, this is the next target. This battleship will be going straight towards our line of gunboats. So we want to clear this threat as soon as we destroy this. So we're going to sail our sub towards their battleship. Gonna shoot this guy. And we're gonna send our destroyer within range of this enemy destroyer to shoot it. And just keep staying out of range of both of their battleships and their cruiser. Now I'm gonna send our aircraft carrier towards the north, still staying well out of their range. And now we can send our subs towards their battleship and submerge them. We're gonna keep our cruisers well away from their line of fire. So we're just gonna park our destroyers and our cruisers in this little ditch here temporarily, and send our M6A1s a bit towards the sea, because they got torpedoes. They're going to support our navy for the time being. I'm going to send them here. I'm going to send the rest of the bombers towards northwest. We're going to send this Zero towards this area, intercept their fighter, and we'd want to send this bomber near their airport. Gonna try to bomb it as soon as possible. So we're sending this jet aircraft right here. I'm gonna kill this guy first. Then now we can focus on destroying their army. So first of all, you want to move your commander into the town, now that its effective area is around most of our forces. So we're going to send this LMG up here, kill both of them with one shot. Send this infantryman inside this turret. Going to kill their arty, and then shoot one at their bunker. Send this bomber right next to this building. Bomb once onto their barracks. And gonna send this AT gun right here. Gonna send this launch anti-tank right here. Kill that guy. Then we want to send our SMG towards the north. Now that there's two enemies here, we can still one-shot them because we're in effective range of the officer. Then we want to send this guy right here. Drop a grenade on them. Send the Cheeto up north. Clear that guy out. Send our tanks forward. And there's an MG inside of here. Don't forget about it. Send it up north. And damage, as in destroy the barracks and kill their flamethrower inside. Now you want to bring the flamethrower onwards. Clear this area. And send your tank onwards towards here. Now, it should be important to notice that there is a landmine right here, and later on we are going to clear it with our Hago tank, or our fighter jets if it doesn't get damaged too much. So they're basically gonna lead the charge. Gonna keep our machine guns alive. So I'm gonna keep our tanks in front just to protect the rest of our infantry. And just keep pushing forward.
Yes.
And that should be it for our forces over there. And down here, we're going to keep setting up towards the north.
Hi.
Again, we're moving the commander, the officer, after we've moved everyone towards the north first. So he's gonna be the last one moving. That's great. Now, that should be the majority of our forces being moved, and we can proceed to the next round. If you paid close attention, unfortunately one of our destroyers got shot by the battleship, but that's alright since our subs are getting inside of their effective range. So right now we want to approach our sub over here, drop this torpedo over, and we're gonna approach our subs over here. We're gonna drop the torpedo towards their boats. Gonna focus fire on the big ones first. Gonna send this guy over here. Now he's dead. That's great. Unfortunately, we missed that shot. Let's start sending all our destroyers over here. Now we can torpedo them. We're gonna move our G4M over here because they got torpedoes. Next on, we'll be targeting their battleship with the torpedo bombers. We're gonna move the G3M up north. And as you can see over here, these guys are a bit distracted with our boats right here. So they should be firing at these guys first. Now we want to send our bomber back to the base for repairs. And kill this guy. Clear this area for the bomb. See that? Just destroyed the mine. And send this guy over here, just to intercept their fighter. Then we want to start dealing with this guy. But first we're going to drop a bomb over him if that's possible. Let's see how we should approach this. We're going to send our G3M right here. Bomb their airfield. And we're going to send our commander up front first, but we're going to move this guy. Going to start attacking their factory over here. And then we should be moving this Hago up front, I think. Gotta think this through. Right. So let's send this bomber over here. Drop a bomb on their Cromwell. Send our anti-tank forward. Kill this guy. and then send our Chi-Ha up front, try to bomb him, and we want to keep this Hago alive as long as possible. So we're going to send him here, and send this guy up front, fix it, let it shoot this guy now. Gets a little bit of inflicted damage. Gonna shoot this guy twice, and this guy once, and we're gonna send our machine gun forward. Kill this guy, kill that guy. Unfortunately, we couldn't kill him in one shot. That shouldn't be too big of a problem. Now he's dead, and we're gonna keep setting our forces up front. Just keep the pace up. Gonna fix up the Hago. And just keep pushing your forces towards the west. And there we go. Now we gotta keep moving our forces from the south towards the northwest. This guy, I'm just gonna set the waypoint over here, just like for target practice for these bombers. So, serving as another distraction. And that should be it, I guess. Yep. Gonna send this guy over here. And we can proceed to our next round. Now, I would expect that our destroyers would be pulverized over here, but that's just a necessary sacrifice. Right. Kind of ended better than I expected. Now we're gonna send this cruiser over here. Gonna try to drop some torpedoes on them. Gonna drop another torpedo on this guy. He should be dead now. That's great, wonderful. Gonna send our aircraft carrier up north. I know we are currently within range, but that should be fine as long as we got these guys over here. Gonna drop a torpedo. And now this guy is done for. And we will be dealing with this guy with our submarines. Yeah, once we kill them, let's get out of harm's way because we will be surfacing very soon with our submarines. As you know, a recent update changed the characteristics of the subs. They will be resurfacing every 3 moves. So we have to start moving them out of harm's way. Right now, we'll want to, let's see what we want to do here. We want to fly these back, start supporting our guys back in the land area. So we're gonna fly these guys to bomb the British shipyard. We're gonna fly it just outside of the AA range, so we stay safe. And we're gonna bomb one of their submarines just for fun. Right, and that should be it. Gonna serve as a distraction for this guy. Hope he shoots us instead of our forces up north. And let's deal with our forces over here. Right, so right now you want to destroy these things over here, some useless stuff. Now this aircraft is quite heavily damaged, but it's fine. We're gonna fly it back for repairs once we destroy this guy over here. Fly it back for repairs. Our flamethrower is kind of damaged. We'll move it up north a bit to start burning their town. And we're gonna move our bomber. Let's see what we should do here. Right, let's send it over here. Bomb the city. Boom, destroy it in one go. That's expected. We're gonna move this 0 over to this position to protect our bomber. And we're gonna move forward with our tanks, but first we must guide our commander towards the front. So this is we got boosted stats. Now the town is empty, we can safely move inside. We are still affected by the commander, so we've got boosted stats. We can shoot this machine gun nest in one shot. And I'm gonna kill that guy in one shot too. Now we can send our tanks in front and start bombing them, hopefully. I'm gonna send this guy into the town to repair its health a bit. And I guess we can send our Chiha in front. Let's see how far our town is occupied. Yeah, we can still send someone inside. With that out of the way, we can sacrifice one of our riflemen. Just as a distraction for this guy, just gonna block him. We're not even gonna attack him at this point. Right, so what we want to produce here is some bombers. Right, let's start sending our backup. And thankfully, now we've got 2 of our repairmen produced. We're gonna send them over here. And we're gonna produce an airfield. The reason why we can produce an extra airfield now is because we occupied Dhaka. And once we send our repairmen out, we can start producing supplies over in this area and gonna send it towards this airbase. Right, so gonna keep moving our forces. Great thing we got another commander going for us. Oops, our mouse going a bit haywire. Right, now it's back in action. What we want to do now and is probably create another airfield here. But we first have to destroy this barracks because we should be out of quota. Oh, wait. We actually have a bit of quota left. So let's create another airport. It will come in handy later on. Gonna send these guys up front. And that should be it for this turn. Oh, gotta send our bomber out again. Now it's all fixed. And that's great. Well, now we can proceed. Just paying close attention to our navy. Yep, good thing that our submarines are still safe. and you can see that their forces are now collated down south. So like they're distracted by our little boats over there just now. So we're going to send everyone up north just to protect them. Our submarines are going to form like a line of defense against these guys. In case that they approach the shoreline, we will be blocking them with our submarines. Going to sink them so they don't get attacked by the bombers over here. And we are going to send our cruisers inland. I'm going to start shooting at their shipyard. Great, now it's destroyed. We want to actively stay out of the AA zone. So first of all, all we want to do is, let's see. We want to send our commander towards the front. That should be the smart thing to do right now, I think. Gotta leave some space for him to move first. Yep, gonna bomb this guy with a grenade. Gonna send him up front. Great, now he's got boosted stats. He could go straight into the AA gun. So that's why you want to make great use of your commander, because they move faster and will be able to take the enemy position before the enemy AI notices the threat and occupies the AA gun with their own units. So what happens normally is that if you don't have your commander and you approach the AA gun slowly, the enemy AI will notice that and they will occupy their AA guns with their own forces, so you won't be able to occupy it with your own infantry. So now the area is safe for us. We can start approaching their base, but we gotta take great care because this artillery will be able to shoot at us if they want to. Right, so now we're gonna send this MG over here. Gonna one-shot both of them. Gonna send our anti-tank forward a little bit. Let's see if we can kill that tank with our AT gun. Yes, we can. Gonna send this bomber up front. Gonna bomb their Sherman. It's really annoying us. Gonna send this guy over here. Shoot at them. Actually, we might want to heal our flamethrowers, so we're gonna send them back. Gonna send this forward. Drop a grenade. Again, we want to heal that tank, send them back so that they can heal inside the town. We're going to send this forward, send our Chiha. And what we want to do now is probably hit their bunker with one of our bombers. Then shoot it with our Chiha. Now this fella over here, we want to repair it because now it's kind of low on health. But before that, we want to destroy their airfield with this. Gotta make use of every single move. Then we want to use this bomber to try and harass their forces. We're gonna try to target their barracks first because we're gonna stop the enemy from producing any more threats to us. I'm gonna send this guy up front because the tanks are over towards the north. Gonna keep pushing the envelope over here. And now once we fire on this guy, we can send it back to the airfield. Hopefully it gets built in time. The reason why I built this airfield first is because this guy will not be able to reach this airfield. That's why I built it first, so we can like fix it in one turn. We're gonna keep moving our forces up, and we're gonna build the other airfield with our infantry.
Hi.
Gonna send this guy into the airfield for repairs. Great, now that our paratroopers are produced, we can send it up north all the way around the enemy, from straight towards the north, and then straight to a 90 degrees towards the west, towards New Delhi. Once the paratroopers are produced, we can switch back to producing bombers, since this is our plan B. What we want to do here is actually produce some... So let me retract that statement. In this airfield, we want to build some fighters instead. The reason why is because later on, once our bombers get towards the enemy base, they will be generating fighters like crazy. So we want to get some fighters going for us. Now, normally I would upgrade the fighters, but I expect you guys not to upgrade everything, so I'm just gonna skip it. Right, so gonna keep moving our bombers towards the west.
Hi.
And honestly, we've already accomplished quite a lot over here. We've already successfully pushed all the enemies out of harm's way. And we're gonna move this over here and start bombing them. Great. Now we can proceed. Yep. Let's see if their navy goes up north and starts targeting our ground forces at the coast. Yep, as I expected. Now their navy is starting to approach us. I think unfortunately they destroyed one of our submarines. That's fine. Now we can start intercepting them. And use our cruiser to our advantage. Gonna park just out of the range of this big boy over here. Just gonna park right out of its shooting range, so I guess this area should be safe. Shoot twice. Let's see if that torpedo works. It works. Great. Now, let's focus back on the army. We want to keep this artillery out of the game, so let's bomb it as soon as possible. Now normally, once we get to this area, the enemy team will start generating some AA guns over here. And those AA guns will have like a huge shooting range around like this big. So you should be mindful of them and always keep track of what sort of AA guns they are producing, because you will need your bombers to push into New Delhi. Right, so now their artillery is gone. We can safely push our forces into Calcutta. So first off, gonna bomb their barracks if possible. I'm gonna shoot this guy first. Then we are gonna occupy their town. After we fix this. Great. Now what we want to do is to eliminate this bridge, because if we don't, then the enemies will be able to pass through the underbelly of Calcutta and occupy it without any resistance from our main forces over here. So if we eliminate this bridge, then they must go through this loop over, up, and back down towards Calcutta to retake it. In order to win the game, we have to keep Calcutta in our own hands. I've played this a couple of times where the enemy retook Calcutta, and even if we capture New Delhi, we won't be able to win the game unless we recapture Calcutta again from the enemy. So we have to eliminate this bridge to deny access. So we're just gonna bomb it with one of our bombers. You can also occupy it with one of your forces, move the infantry out of it, and then delete the bridge just by using the cross, like this one. But you have to occupy the bridge first. Now we're gonna send a grenade over here, send the infantry back into the town to regenerate its health. I'm gonna send our MGs over here. But first we have to move our infantry up front, our officer up front, so that it's in effective range. And now see, it's got the star. They can one-shot both of these guys. Then our tank, we can shoot up their machine gun, and perhaps we can fix it with some of our infantry. I'm gonna shoot their tanks with our AT guns. Always make good use of the appropriate weapons. I'm gonna send this guy up front, start bombing them. Send this guy over here. That's a big Sherman. Want to kill it as soon as possible. And we're gonna send this AT gun up here. Unfortunately, we hit a mine, but that's alright. These AT guns are pretty useless anyways. Gonna send this MG over here. And now, see, these guys are all patched up. They regain full health. We can keep pushing them forward. Now we're gonna send this guy back into the base to repair it. And see, now these fighter jets are fully repaired. We can send them back out. And now they're done for. Next up, actually we won't be using this airport, so we're just gonna delete it. Sometimes these things do happen. I'm gonna keep sending our forces forward first. I'm gonna send this guy here. Normally I wouldn't suggest using anti-tanks against machine guns, but since it's in so low health, we can just one-shot them. Gonna use our artillery and send all our forces towards the west. Always check if there's forces inside these bunkers and artilleries. And actually, I'd advise building a shipyard over here to repair our cruisers, carriers, or in case we need new submarines. Because these guys will push north very soon. And if they pound all of our forces over here, they'll just retake this area very easily. So we normally, in an ideal situation, we would want some submarines or to repair our forces. Great, now let's keep moving them towards the west. Right, so we have to redirect these supplies over here. Right, so we have to keep moving our little paratrooper plane all the way up north. And try to avoid these fighters while you're flying this thing. Let's see if we got any planes here. No, we're safe. And now we can keep going. And actually we can send this supply, redirect the supply over here, because these bombers are quite important actually. And right over here in Calcutta, we can start building some, let's build some supplies. So we'll direct the supplies towards the shipyard over here later. You know, actually, let's build let's build an airport over here. You know what? Because like we occupied Calcutta, we can just like build more infrastructure. Yeah, so why not? And as you can see, they are now targeting my aircraft carrier. But luckily, since, like I said, their battleships are just like, most of them are gone, their destroyers can't really do much to our aircraft carriers because like destroyers are pretty useless in my opinion. And we can target their most important vessels, that is the cruiser. And then we can use our own cruiser to really punch them up a little bit. Right. I should probably send them back for repairs. Don't know what just happened, but I probably misclicked. That's why it went here. Normally I would send this guy over here and drop a torpedo, but I guess I just misclicked. You can just take it as like an extra step for you guys in case you guys, have better fingers than me and won't misclick every once in a while. Gonna send it back for repairs. Now these submarines will probably resurface very soon, so I'm well prepared to sacrifice them. But since we got a shipyard going, we could produce more subs in the very near future. Right, now once we got this going, we can send them towards the front and produce some submarines. Great. Now we can keep pushing our forces up front. Always keep your bombers just a little bit beyond the front lines. I'm gonna bomb their hospital first because it produces more. Anything that produces more units in the enemy team is something to be targeted, since one less gun is one less threat. Then you want to send this guy over here, bomb the Churchill, because this big boy over here is quite hard to destroy. Gonna send our AT gun right here, kill that guy. Great. Now all we gotta do is finish off this fella over here. Kill him. Send them up north, kill this guy. Great. Now send this guy up front, bomb the bunker with it. Always shoot the appropriate target. Since the howitzer does little damage to infantry, we would choose a better target, which is the bunker, and send lunch up in front. I know I probably shouldn't have done that, but hey, this guy is inactive. Basically, it doesn't really shoot back in the next turn, so we can just shoot him. I'm gonna send this guy up here, kill that, and just gonna basically push everyone towards the front now. Right, we want to send these fighters up north. I'll explain why later on. And then we're gonna start bombing their forces coming from the south. Like I said, from this town of Vishakhapatnam, I'm butchering this name. From this town, they will send these forces up north and try to retake Calcutta, and we don't let them. So we're just gonna keep bombing their squads. Just bomb enough of them and start sending them towards the north. And we're going to keep moving our forces towards the west. Now this is our army. Just going to spread them out to give a little bit more space for movement. That's also why we got 2 commanders, so we can make sure everyone is moving quickly. Great, we've got another engineer going, and now that this barracks is completed its job, we can delete it so we can produce some more barracks over here. Let's see what sort of great area is. Yeah, this is probably a good area for bunkers, for barracks. Always try to keep your barracks towards the front line so that your infantry won't have to move as much as they need to. Great, now our bomber is fixed. We keep everyone up front. Right, we're gonna circle around this fighter so they don't get to shoot at us. Great, one of our fighters is up. Again, this barracks over here has done its job. We can delete it so we can build more barracks in the front line over here. So we can build like 1 more barracks over here. Great. Now everyone should be doing their job properly. And we should be able to move, I guess. And here we go. Right, so look at this. Now they got a big bomber in the air. That's why we needed our fighter jets up here. Now, we want to clear out their tanks as soon as possible while avoiding AA fire. I'm not sure whether there's AA guns inside these towns. Sometimes the enemy AI is very sneaky and they tend to produce these AIs inside concealed areas, so you won't be able to spot them. And sometimes they just damage your aircrafts out of nowhere. So we have to tread carefully. But one thing we do know is that this AA gun is located over here, so we want to avoid this area at all costs. So first we're going to destroy everything in our path, especially their tanks. So we're going to use our heavy bombers. First of all, we're going to deny them access first. Like I said, if they got a bridge over here, then they will be able to access the underbelly and retake Calcutta. But now that it's destroyed, they will just have to pass through all these things over here. See these barracks and AA guns? Yeah, that'll block them. We're going to send these bombers right here. Start bombing them. And what you want to do is focus on bombing the tank factory, because it just keeps churning out tanks and we don't want that. Gonna bomb this Churchill. Just keep all of their tanks destroyed and you should be fine. Now we're gonna temporarily leave these aircrafts over here, and we want to send our forces up front.
Yes.
Gonna build our airport first so that we can temporarily fix up our jets. Then we want to keep building our barracks. Gonna save the SMG back in this town just to replenish some of its health. Great, this bunker is now going. We can produce some SMGs. If you don't have SMGs researched, you can just produce machine guns. Here I'd advise to produce some officers. Or actually, we should probably produce some, let's see, machine guns, scouts, flamethrowers, let's deal with LMGs. Or machine guns. Screw it. Gonna send Archiha, try to destroy this bunker. And actually we've already accomplished the majority of this mission. We're just sending our large, bloody army in front. See these guys? These guys will be pushing in very, very soon. And we still have our plan B over here. So we're just gonna circle around that little fighter. Let's just shoot at this guy for fun. And now you can see that their navy is approaching us. And we're just gonna sacrifice our submarines at this point. Kamikaze, right? It's gonna shoot at their battleship, which is like the most dangerous thing right here. And we're gonna send our aircraft carrier back inside the shipyard for repairs. And we're gonna keep our cruiser up here just to be safe, because we still want to leave a bit of space to produce that submarine. And here we want to produce some fighters. And we want to bring this fighter all the way over here. I guess it's fine. We can shoot at their artillery. Yep. And that should be it for this round. Everything is in order, I think. Great. And we can proceed. As I said earlier, now their ships are approaching us. We can submerge our submarines. Thankfully, we still have them with us. And look at that. Look at that. Our aircraft carrier is all fixed up. You can send this guy just out of reach of enemy battleship. And we're gonna keep. You know what? Let's actually send a torpedo towards this guy, just for fun. You know. Unfortunately, they destroyed one of our barracks. It doesn't matter. We got the engineers. We can build one with our riflemen and take the other turn using our repairmen. Since like repairmen tend to build things faster, you want to initiate the construction of any infrastructure with your normal units, like riflemen or officers, and then you want to complete the infrastructure construction with your engineers, because like they build things faster. If you initiate the construction with your engineers but finish them up with your normal units like your riflemen, then it'll take the same amount of time. Oops, the mouse just went a bit crazy. Like I said, if you just initiate the construction with your engineers and finish it up with the riflemen, then you'll basically lose all the benefits of initiating the construction with the riflemen and finishing it up with the engineers. So yeah, that's a mouthful. Gonna keep pushing our forces towards their base now. This guy is just dorsal at this moment. Doesn't know what he's doing. And right now, we'll just bomb their AA guns out of oblivion if we can do so. Yes, we can. Let's just remember, always try to target their A guns all at once so they don't get to respond. See? Yes, we got a little bit of a self-inflicted damage. That's understandable. That's the rules of the game. But they don't get to shoot in return. Yeah, so we want to shoot them all at once, overwhelming fire, and then kill them, and then stop them from ever attacking us again. So that's the name of the game here. I'm going to send some bombs over this factory. And we're going to attack their bombers with our own fighters. Where's our jet? Yeah, let's send it up front. Gonna make great use of all our units over here. Great, now it's empty. We can occupy it with our flamethrower because it has improved stats and improved movement. So now we got this. We want to produce some AA guns. I'll explain why later on. Right, so we want to keep pushing in. Now that these guys are over here, we want to start blocking their way. And we'll do this by occupying everything over here. We'll just stop them from retaking Calcutta at all costs. Just gonna keep the production going inside of here. And send everyone towards the front lines. Great. Now we can focus back on our navy. Can fire some A guns on these bombers. Yep, they're bombing us very obviously. Thankfully, we've got some of our fighters. Although it doesn't do much damage. I mean, I guess it kind of does its job. And that should be it for now. As long as we protect Calcutta from being retaken by these guys over here. Right, that should be it for this turn. Now what we want to do is to build another airbase over in this area. I'll explain later why. Actually, this airbase is pretty much... Wait, this airbase... Yep, this airbase is pretty much useless now. So we're going to send everything out of it and delete it because it's like so far away from the front line. We're going to direct these guys over towards our barracks over here. So we can build an airbase near this area. So first of all, we want to destroy their own airbase so they don't produce any more aircrafts or bombers. Then the next target will be their barracks to stop them from occupying this town. We can bomb their artillery. Doesn't matter if we've got like reduced health now. We got like so many bombers, it doesn't matter. Kind of sucks that we got damaged over there. Gonna send this guy over here. One shot both of them. Send our commander up front. Before that, we might want to send our repairman up front too. It should be still possible if we move this guy up front. Yep, they got like improved movement. Gonna send these guys over here. Again, we want to initiate the building of the airport with our normal units, and then build it with our repairmen. That's how you speed up everything. Gonna shoot this guy. Great. And we're gonna finish building this up with our normal infantry. Actually, let's send our IGO down there because it moves so slow. Might as well be defending it. Move these guys down here just to defend this city. Gonna move the rest of them up. Gonna park our fighter jets right here in the airport. That's why we want to create some pit stops. Gonna bomb them so they don't bother us anymore. Yep, gonna keep blocking them. And now we can move our cruiser down here, throw some torpedoes over there, kill them, and now it's party time. See how their destroyers are basically useless once their battleships are gone. Yeah, that's what we want. Now we can just produce some supplies over here. Just if it's towns, just produce supplies to feed the airports to produce more fighters. And now we don't even need the shipyard because like we've basically eliminated all of their navy. So we're gonna keep sending our Plan B paratroopers up front. We're just gonna leave that over there. Doesn't really matter now. Gonna kill this guy. Right, I'm gonna send it back a bit. So let me explain why we are producing anti-aircraft guns over here and airports all the way in the front line. So I've experienced this problem a couple of times. Usually, once you start approaching the city of New Delhi, the enemy AI will start producing fighter jets inside the building. Now this creates a huge problem for us because once their fighter jets are produced, we won't be able to deal damage to these fighter jets inside the buildings with our normal forces. So if you fire inside the building with infantry, tanks, or even boats, it does absolutely zero damage to the fighters inside. Sometimes you won't even be able to fire at all. So what we want to do is produce some AA guns. So what that happens is that if in case some fighter jets or bombers or whatever airplane gets produced in the enemy towns, we will be able to still fire upon inside of them and clear this building out so we can occupy it with our ground forces. Oh wait, still got a bomber over here. Gonna deny them access. No, you're not going inside. well, on to the next round. We are very nearly there. Now I can just keep bombing them. Just bomb all their infrastructure first. Like I said earlier, one less gun is one less threat. Gonna bomb the barracks over here too. And we're gonna finish this off with our infantry. And once we kill this aircraft, we wanna repair it. The reason why is because this fighter aircraft, the J7W2 Shindenkai, this fighter aircraft deals the most amount of damage to enemy fighters. So like I said just a minute earlier, if they produce fighters inside of this building and we are not able to take those fighters out, we will simply send this jet right next to this area and shoot at the fighters inside. But we won't be able to do that if this guy is dead, will we? So we have to keep this at full health at all times. So always try to fix it as soon as possible. And we're gonna just keep bombing them. Gonna send all our forces inside now.
Yes.
Congratulations, we got our first AA guns. Now we can keep pushing forward. Doesn't matter if we take a bit of damage now. We've basically dominated this area. I'm gonna create another airport over here just to annoy the enemy. And we'll just keep sending everyone up front. Just gonna keep these guys going down south so they won't be bothering us no more. So you want to always keep some forces around Calcutta so that these guys from the south will not be able to retake that. And we're going to keep sending our Plan B aircraft towards the west. And there should be a fighter jet here if I recall correctly. Yep, we do. We're going to keep creating some fighter jets in case, like I said, again, I cannot stress this enough. Once this town starts, once New Delhi starts producing these fighters or bombers inside, it will be very hard to take them out without some fighter aircrafts of your own. Because like these bombers will not be able to do much damage just by shooting their guns at their fighters. So now let's deal with their remaining forces. I'm gonna keep a guy over here just in case. And now it's party time. Just avoid their mines. And you should be alright. Oops. Forgot to redirect the planes.
Your orders.
That's a basic mistake I made. And we can keep going. Right, so we're gonna keep building airports over here. So These guys don't get to breathe. Oops. Did some weird stuff right there. Sorry about that. And now we're gonna keep bombing their town. And basically we've won this game. They're never gonna get away with this. Gonna shoot at them with our AA guns. Actually, we're gonna delete this unit, send the AA guns a bit towards the north. So now this thing will be approaching this area, the range of it. And we can keep sending our plan B angle of attack towards the enemy. Gonna produce some fighter jets continuously. Gonna stop them from harassing us. And send everyone towards the designated area. Just gonna extend our line a little bit. Great, we've got some fighter aircrafts up. Gonna keep distracting them. Gonna destroy the remainings of their navy. Great. Now the sea is clean, completely clean of all these enemies. A lot of mines, but that's all right. The entire sea is ours. Still got a fighter over here to spare. And yep, we should be winning this. Now let's just surround their town for fun. We can just occupy this town with our MGs, but we're at 12 rounds. I mean, actually, if I just send these guys in there, we'll win this game. But like I said earlier, I just want to show you that we can still win this game just by sending our paratroopers towards their town in case you don't play as carefully as I do, right? You still got like, I don't know, this paratrooper going towards their town, so it still works. So I guess I'm just gonna, speed through it and show you that also works. This option also works. And we're at 13 rounds, so I'm gonna take one more turn. Right, so what you saw just now is that this town created like an aircraft over here, and if that aircraft stayed inside, it will be very hard to dig it out, just like I expected. So that's why we had to keep these guys alive, so we can kill this little annoying fly out of the way. And if he stays inside of here, we can simply move these bombers out of the way and send these fighter jets over here and kill it. And now we can access it with our paratrooper, which is our plan B, and get inside. And well, we've won the game. And that's how you do it within 15 turns. Man, I've played this map for like 30 times at least to get this thing going. I mean, God. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit about this game. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.